I'm Lara Kulchersan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. The role of social media in politics, like in many other areas, is well known. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been praising its importance in New York. He met with American influencers, telling them that social platforms are crucial for gaining support for Israel in the United States. Netanyahu singled out TikTok as the most significant tool of the moment, warning that control over it could have a major impact in shaping the narrative. He also pointed to X, saying Israel should deepen ties with Elon Musk, whom he described as a personal friend. His comments comes after US President Donald Trump signed an executive order on TikTok's forced sale. The app's US arm will now have its user data and algorithm managed by Oracle. The company is led by billionaire Larry Ellison, a longtime supporter of Israel.
Netanyahu went on camera to brag about how Israel has now acquired TikTok and calling it one of the greatest weapons in their arsenal, which, of course, we already knew was the true purpose behind the TikTok ban. But, it's just nice to get a verbal confirmation, isn't it?
They point to this happening. It was lobbied by pro-Israel organizations to get the bipartisan bill to ban TikTok. The lawmakers admitted that it was because it was hosting anti-Israel content, like mine, like many others.
They are installing a ex-IDF soldier, Erica Mendel, to run their hate speech policy, which she changed the hate speech guidelines on September 13th, just a few days ago, which has now brought mass censorship against everyone I know who are telling me that if they criticize Israel in a video, it gets pulled off the For You page or taken down.
This app's not going to be standing much longer. I think a lot of people are going to leave when they censor it.
Meanwhile, in Gaza, more than 60,000 people have been killed, including children, many of whom have died from starvation. Israeli forces continue their relentless bombing, and even hospitals are not safe. Among those trying to help is Nada Abu Rob, a volunteer with the Palestinian-Australian-New Zealand Medical Association. She has begun her month-long mission in the enclave and gave an exclusive interview to TRT World, describing the hospitals as a human slaughterhouse.
We basically arrived to the middle, to Shuhada al-Aqsa first, where we worked there for a bit before we came north. Now the situation in the north has been disastrous. Not saying that in the south it wasn't, because when we were south, we thought, me and the other Australian doctor that was with me, Dr. Saya Aziz, that we've seen the worst with the starvation, with the strikes, with the injuries that we saw, and with the amount of people, the starvation, the sewage, no clean water, people living in the hospital, people evacuating there every day. However, when we went north, it was another level of disaster. It was basically a slaughterhouse. It's a slaughterhouse. Yeah, so I've worked in Shuhada al-Aqsa, I worked in Al-Shifa hospital. The situation is bad and disastrous everywhere in Gaza. Well, the main thing, I still cannot believe the things I've seen. I feel I'm like in a nightmare or a horror movie. I can't just stand those kids watching the father or the mum shredded into pieces in front of them, or the mum has lost all of her family at the same time and her kids. They're coming carrying a dead bodies to me all the time. Like, doctor, just tell us, is there a chance, are they alive? Save them, help them. And they either arrive dead or it's kind of basically a case that there's no way to save at that stage. So it's really, really, really heartbreaking and difficult, and no matter, there's no way to express, there's no word to express the amount of pain that causes that. That shouldn't happen to anyone in the world. The people, what people of Gaza are living, no one can tolerate.
Outside the enclave, the calls for Gaza are growing louder. One high-profile push is the Gaza Summit Flotilla. It's made up of about 50 ships sailing to Gaza to break Israel's blockade on humanitarian aid. The flotilla has faced several attacks along the way, but activists remain determined to press on. Among them is climate activist Greta Thunberg. She has rejected Israeli claims that the mission is merely a publicity stunt, insisting the focus must remain on Gaza itself.
The closer we are to Gaza, the bigger grows the risk of escalation towards us. And this is not about the flotilla. It is about Gaza, where over 2 million people remain trapped and systematically starved under an illegal siege, and where bombs and attacks are part of their everyday life. We call on governments everywhere to fulfill their legal obligation and end their complicity in genocide, ensure safe passage for more than 500 participants from 45 countries. And we call on people all over the world to raise their voices for Palestine, for Gaza, for humanity.
Drones circling over air bases, airports, and military sites continue across Europe, testing the continent's defenses. Over the weekend, Danish authorities reported more drone sightings near several military sites. The Transport Ministry says all civilian use of drones have been banned until Friday to ensure security. It comes as Denmark prepares to host two high-profile events this week, an EU summit on Wednesday and a gathering of the European political community the day after. In neighboring Norway, drones were spotted over Brønnøysund Airport in the north. Investigators are also probing sightings around Årland, home to Norway's fleet of F-35 jets. In recent weeks, Poland and Romania have also reported incursions, while Estonia accused Russian fighter jets of violating its airspace. One of Australia's biggest telecom providers is in crisis again. Optus has suffered a second major outage in less than 2 weeks. The latest disruption hit New South Wales on Sunday, leaving services down for hours. The company has blamed the incident on a faulty mobile phone tower site south of Sydney. Last week, an outage prevented calls to emergency services, leading to the death of at least 4 people. The areas most affected were South Australia, Western Australia, and the Northern Territory. That initial episode was tagged as a glitch during a network upgrade. Both the Australian government and Optus are investigating what's causing the outages. China's online censors have a new target: pessimism. The Cyberspace Administration has launched a 2-month campaign against social media posts that excessively exaggerate negative and pessimistic sentiments. Officials say the aim is to rectify negative emotions and create a civilized and rational internet. Narratives like studying or hard work is useless and anything that smacks of world weariness all fall under that umbrella. In other words, the very frustrations that have been echoing online after years of economic downturn, a collapsing property market, high youth unemployment, and fading consumer confidence.
Not the economy in China is so bad right now that those with masters and even PhDs are delivering food on scooters, not as a part-time gig, but their full-time position. And the job market in China is pretty brutal, with 12 million Chinese graduates entering the market every single year. A PhD or even graduating from a top university won't guarantee you a job anymore.
Imagine 700 people competing for one job position. That's crazier than getting to Harvard. Economic uncertainty plus lifetime perks are the main reason why tons of young people these days try to get a permanent job in the government. This data shows how many people apply for China civil service exam in this year. Back when I was job hunting at the very first beginning, that was probably my plan B because it is too stable. It's not like I can get a no.
Those pressures have already given rise to a new generational mindset: lying flat or rat people.
躺平. It refers to adopting a passive and indifferent attitude toward life's or work's pressures, choosing not to strive for progress.
They like to spend all day in bed, they wake up only to scroll on their phone, maybe they'll get up at like 8 p.m. for dinner.
The dad described his Gen Z daughter's life. It got millions of likes. His daughter sleeps until 2 p.m. Then she lies in bed scrolling her phone for 2 hours watching shows. Then she orders bubble tea and takeout on her phone. Then she gets up to brush her teeth and wash her face. She brings the food back to her room, eats while watching shows. By 7 to 8 p.m., she's wide awake, gaming time. She plays until 6 a.m. Her room, a total mess, bed, drawers, piled with trash. This lifestyle describes hopeless, unmotivated young people in China today. They feel like they live in a sewer. They see the bright world outside, but crawl back underground. So they don't date, don't marry, can't find a job, live off parents, and dream aimlessly.
Now, bloggers documenting that lifestyle say their videos have been deleted and their accounts banned. But the crackdown doesn't stop there. Regulators recently fined major platforms from Weibo to Kuaishou to Xiaohongshu for letting what authorities describe as harmful content trend, whether it's youth dissatisfaction or celebrity gossip. But the truth is, deleting posts won't erase reality. Without better jobs, stability, and opportunities, the mood is unlikely to shift. And if history is any guide, Chinese netizens will find new ways to express what they're feeling, whether it's lying flat or another online trend. Now, bloggers documenting that lifestyle say their videos have been deleted and their accounts banned. But the crackdown doesn't stop there. Regulators recently fined major platforms from Weibo to Kuaishou to Xiaohongshu for letting what authorities describe as harmful content trend, whether it's youth dissatisfaction or celebrity gossip. But the truth is, deleting posts won't erase reality. Without better jobs, stability, and opportunities, the mood is unlikely to shift. And if history is any guide, Chinese netizens will find new ways to express what they're feeling, whether it's lying flat or another online trend. If it's not broken, don't fix it. That's the message from users of KakaoTalk after the app's first major revamp after 15 years. With around 50 million users, it's South Korea's most prominent messaging app. But slipping engagement numbers push its creators to shake things up. According to Seoul's mobile index, the average monthly time spent per user dropped to 674 minutes since the beginning of August, down 16% from 800 minutes in July. The upgrade includes the integration of OpenAI's ChatGPT 5 and an interface that resembles Instagram.
First, profile images are now more like social media. Instead of a single photo, they're now a feed style, allowing you to share your daily life with friends and even control who sees what. Forcing yourself to view your daily feed inevitably leads to increased fatigue. Second, a new chatroom folder feature has been added. You can organize up to 100 chat rooms into 10 folders. This makes viewing only unread messages much more convenient. Third, AI-powered chatroom assistant Sokana will be added to chat rooms. It can handle everything from general searches to restaurant reservations and gift recommendations. Fourth, the time limit for deleting messages has been increased from 5 minutes to 24 hours, and it's no longer possible to identify who deleted them. Fifth, you can now edit messages you've written. Both regular and open chats will be quiet, but a small edited message will appear. Sixth, voice chat has undergone a dramatic change. It even provides automatic recording AI-based content regardless of the carrier.
So whoever authorized the KakaoTalk update today needs to have the plague descended upon them. It's so bad. Like, look, it's all ads and like useless notifications like who changed their profile picture. More ads here, more useless garbage. Stop trying to make Kakao Story a thing. Like, you're not gonna be Instagram, bro. Come on. I saw my nephews from middle school and high school and I was like, hey, let's swap Kakao Talks. And then they were like, who uses Kakao Talk anymore? Everyone only just uses Discord and Instagram these days. Like, I literally can't think of anybody under the age of 30 who still uses Kakao Talk. Like, even for me personally, I only use Kakao Talk to talk to my parents and like my 91-year-old grandmother. Kakao Talk, you had a good run, but it's time to call it quits.
Now on to something literally about nothing. But if you're a parent of young kids or around kids, you would have heard this and perhaps have no clue what it means.
Penny, what do you know about 6'7"?
6'7"?
Yeah.
Literally nothing. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. No.
Wow. What do you know about 6'7"?
I know 6 was afraid of 7 for 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Hey, do you know 6'7"? Yo, you know 6'7"?
I don't know what that trend is. I have no idea what that trend is. I googled it. I still don't get it, bro.
Now, there is a song by Skrilla named Doot Doot. In the song, there's a reference to the number 6'7". It goes, da, 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 6'7". Now, this number was then popularized by different creators, primarily creating basketball sports edits and using that song over the edit. Now, most predominantly, LaMelo Ball was a part of the edits and referred to him as a basketball player that moves like he's 6'2", but is actually 6'7". Now, this meme goes viral. Now, everybody's making edits, everybody's saying 6'7", and all of these content creators are starting to put 6'7" into all of their things, and not just content creators, but actual basketball players in press conferences and things like that are saying 6'7", and so it just continues to become a thing, and now it is something that you're just trying to use to get somebody to reference the number 6'7".
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.